Hello and welcome to my new workshop guide. This was originally going to use Gluestorm, but it was really inconsistent, so I decided to go with the better Tier 5 glue gunner. So first, we're going to start off by placing a dart monkey right over here as right as possible. You want that red line to be as vertical as possible, and set it on strong. For your second dart monkey, you're going to place it as low as possible so that the tip of hair goes through that center line. And then you're going to put that one on strong as well. And then you're just going to place a dart monkey here as top right as possible. And this one stays on first. If placed properly, this setup can carry you until the end of round 8, where you can place a ninja right over here as bottom left as possible. During round 10, upgrade your ninja to ninja discipline as soon as possible because you need it to beat the large wave of blues at the end of the round. And then by seeking shuriken whenever you can afford it on round 11. Over the next 2 rounds, upgrade your ninja to sharp shurikens and caltrops. I don't think it matters what order you get them in, just get them before round 15. And speaking of round 15, this round shouldn't have any RNG, but sometimes it can get a bit closer than it does here. I'm pretty sure you can't lose though. During round 18, place Geraldo as bottom right as possible. You have a ton of time to do this, so don't worry about taking too long. You can chill until round 21, where you want to buy double shot on your ninja as soon as possible, because if you don't buy it, you die, I think. The next 2 rounds are entirely AFK, but you can get started on the next step before I do, because you definitely have the money for it. Before round 28, place a druid right here as bottom left as possible. Set it to strong, and upgrade it to hard thorns with Heart of Oak. And then after 28, get Druid of the Jungle and set it to first. At some point before 36, which is when it's required, place a village right over here as bottom as possible, and you want the outside part of the range to touch the inside of the tube border, and then give it monkey business and monkey commerce. Before round 35, force feed your druid some pickles. You can probably do a bunch of other things this round instead of doing that, but this is just the easiest and most consistent from what I can tell. So, before round 36, you're going to place a spike factory as left as possible, and for where you want to place it vertically, there should be two diagonal lines underneath the table. They're probably going to be hard to see, but you want to line up the top part of the range when it's outside of the village range with the line that goes from the bottom left corner to the top right. And then just move it slightly up so it's in the discount range. And then give the spike factory smart spikes and set it to smart. For now, it should hit the intersection right there, and then get bigger stacks when you can afford it. Before round 40, upgrade your spike factory to spiked balls, and then place an alchemist as really close to it and as right as possible, while still being inside of the discount range. And then give it acidic mixture dip, place a maelstrom right here, and place 2 spikes at the end of the track. These aren't required 99% of the time, but there was one time where something got through, so just for a bit of safety. And then upgrade your alchemist to Berserker Brew with perishing potions whenever you can afford it. Before round 43, use pickles on your druid yet again, and then glue the front. And then upgrade your village to jungle drums, and your alchemist to stronger stimulant whenever you can afford it. Before round 47, glue the front yet again. Before 49, pickle your druid yet again. This should just beat the round, and you should buy spiked mines whenever you can afford it, because you need it for round 50. Before round 52, place a heli as top left as possible while still in range of the discount, and upgrade it to Moab Shove, and lock it in place right here. And then get quad darts and pursuit on it whenever you can afford it, and once you get pursuit, it should auto switch to pursuit. We don't like that right now, so lock it in place again, in the same location obviously. Also, if you're here, I don't know why, but pursuit works really weirdly on this map, and I'm not sure why. Maybe the heli just gets confused with all the obstacles and stuff. It's weird, but works. And before 56, give your druid a camo potion. Because for some reason, spiked mines can't handle all the camos on 56. Not sure why, but it just can't half the time, which is very weird. And then upgrade your heli to Comanche defense as soon as possible. You don't actually have to do it as soon as possible, you just have to do it at some point before round 60, because that is when it starts being required, I think. Before 63, give your Comanche defense a sharpening stone, and glue the front. And you can also set your Comanche on pursuit if you want. Not required for now, but you do need it for 64, so why not just do it now? And then if you put it on pursuit for 63, set it to lock in place, and then once it gets to the location, switch it back to pursuit. Because you want it here for the start of 64. And it may look like you're gonna die, but then all 3 Comanches come in and you somehow just win. And then after 64, set your heli back to lock in place. Before 68, set your heli back to pursuit. This one I don't actually think is required, but if you want to do it, you can. It'll speed up the next few rounds, just a bit. Oh yeah, but if you are going to set it to pursuit, set it back to lock in place in the position for 71. That is very important. And then before 73, actually set it to pursuit. It'll look like it gets close, but spiked binds does a lot of very nice things. And then lock your heli back in place for 74. '75 is a weird one. you're going to set your heli back to pursuit and give it the new Geraldo upgraded sharpening stone. It looks like it gets very close, but a lot of the time it doesn't actually get close. Sometimes it does get very close though, and there are only a few spikes left. But a few spikes is still more than no spikes, and a win is a win, no matter how it comes. And then before 76, glue the front. And then because of how Comanche defense works, you're not going to have it dealing a lot of damage exactly when you need it to for the BFBs on 77, which is kind of unfortunate, which is annoying because we have to spend way too much money to just use a Maelstrom to clean up the BFBs. Not sure you need to do this, but just to be safe. And then before 78, use another glue on the front and lock your heli back in place. Before 79, buy Comanche Commander and keep it locked in place. Before around 80, place a glue gunner as low as possible while still being in range of the discount village, and as left as possible. And then upgrade it to Bloon Liquefier when you can afford the money with glue splatter. And then set your Comanche Commander to pursuit. Very important. Get Liquefier at some point during 81. It does literally nothing this run, until you get it to Solver, of course, but yeah, Liquefier needs a buff. Before 85, you should reapply Sharpening Stone to your Comanche Commander. I forgot to do this and it caused me to waste money later on, but it still ended up working somehow. So yeah, reapply that Sharpening Stone. It is a massive damage increase for Comanche. And then get Solver as soon as possible during 86, because you definitely need it for 87. Here is where I messed up, and because I forgot to use the Sharpening Stone earlier, it caused me to have to use a track extension here, which I should not have used. So, yeah, don't, no, remember to apply the Sharpening Stone. I feel very stupid for forgetting that. Before 89, place a boomerang right here and don't upgrade it yet. And then place an ice directly above it and don't upgrade it yet. And then place a boomer above the ice and don't upgrade it yet. And then place another boomer, don't upgrade it yet. And then apply a camo potion to your Comanche Commander, Bloon Solver, pickle your Solver, and then if you've watched my other guides with Geraldo, you know what we're doing now. Stack Jerry Fires as soon as they come off cooldown. It's not super important, but helps a bit. And then you don't have to upgrade that ice to embrittlement just yet. You should be fine if you don't. And then after 89, give a camo potion to 2 random boomerangs, doesn't really matter which ones, and then stack 3 more fires on anything that you can. And then before 90, glue the front and lock your heli in place. During 91, upgrade your Ice Monkey to Embrittlement with Enhanced Freeze once you get the money. Before 92, set your heli back to pursuit, and then during the round, upgrade your top boomerang to Moab Press with glaives, and make sure to set it on strong. That is very important. And then for 93, start upgrading another one of your boomerangs to Moab Press with glaives on strong, stack Jerry fires on random things again because you can, and then don't use that glue. Don't use that. And then before 94 you should have the money to get that Moab press. And then do not spend anything on 94 because you need to be able to have a Sabo right as the round ends. And in range of a discount, buy a Sabotage Ninja. And then during the wave of purples, give your Bloon Solver a new pickle jar. This actually increases its DPS a decent amount from what I know. And then Sabo, the second you see a DDT on 95, and then once the Sabo runs out, you should be able to tell when it runs out with the disappearance of the blue cloud next to it. And once it runs out, use a reverse motor. And then also during the purple wave, I forgot to mention this earlier, you should resharpening stone your Comanche commander. I don't here because of the mistake I made earlier. So yeah, and then upgrade your third boomerang to Moab Press with glaives on strong when you have the money. And then you can use a Sabo on 96 off cooldown. Don't think you have to, but you can if you want to. And then remember, continue stacking those Jerry fires. It's not super important, but it's funny. Here I resharpening stone my Comanche, but you should have already done that during 95, so don't do anything. And then 498, place 2 genies in range of a Jungle Drums village, and now we do what I like to call random Geraldo nonsense. I place a few mines at the back even though I know that they won't get used. I place a few spooky totems even though I doubt they actually do anything here. And I use 1 Maelstrom here even though I don't think you have to. Actually, yeah, no, you definitely don't have to. But if you want to use it, I'm pretty sure it's in the budget. And then before 99, place a Spike Factory as high as possible, upgrade it to Spike Storm with bigger stacks, and give it a Jerry Fire because we're stacking those still, and a Sharpening Stone. And then, of course, Sabo the DDTs on 99. My mistake on 87 causes around 100 to be different for me than for you. So normally you're going to want a Spike Storm, Rejuve, Spike Storm, Rejuve, Spike Storm, but because I messed up and my track extension isn't free, I can't. Use the track extension when your bad looks like it's going to go to the second one, and then use a reverse motor, and then Sabo if you want to. 100% not needed, but you can if you want. Congratulations! You have just gotten your workshop black border, hopefully. Hope that you have a nice rest of your day, and goodbye. So, this one was kind of stupid, but I don't know what guides I'm gonna make next. I might make a cargo guide, or I might just start remaking guides for maps that I've already made. But better, if I were to do that, it would probably be quad, and then, I don't know, I might redo one for like, I have no clue, probably just quad. But I only have another 2.5 days to make guides, until I leave for a month. So, yeah. Sorry if you guys don't have any new guides in that time.